Hello, the second round of the National Dutch Online Go Competition 2020 has been played. This time we've got a match played between Marcel, Riedeman and Wil Schraven. My name is Mateusz Surma and I will review this game. Let's start. Here we've got an opening, everything is okay. In this moment it starts to be more interesting. What happens? Black decided to play like this. So with this move, Black doesn't leave opportunity for White to connect this stone with the other stones. If Black doesn't play there, or for example Black plays this kind of jump, later White is able to play something like this. Maybe Black will need to worry about this top, so it might be quite risky to cut in any side. Maybe Black will play from below and White is able to connect these groups. This is some possibility maybe to play later. So with this move, Black doesn't give White this possibility. Okay, interesting. But on the other hand, Black anyway doesn't protect the corner. So White is able to play, for example, this way. And what happens? If Black tries to play some kind of joseki, like this, here there is some popular sequence usually in the corner. So after the sequence, now if we compare, Black has a stone in this spot. What is this stone doing there? It's not very useful, right? So when Black already invested this stone in this spot, then this kind of joseki in this corner is just not good for Black, because this stone, it would be better if it was in many other places on the board. So this way it would be just good for White. Maybe after this move, Black can think, but I don't need to capture this stone. It's okay if I just connect. But this way, White is able to create a good shape. So White is alive. Black has a few points here, White has a few points here, so it becomes even. And then Black has these two stones, which separate these two groups. About this group, it doesn't matter at all, because this group is already alive. About the other group, okay, it gives some profit for Black, but if this group is safe, then maybe at some point it might be also possible for White to get these kind of moves in center. Maybe this one later here on the first line, so it will be automatically easier to create some ice in this area. It might be also possible for White to play maybe even deeper. Of course, now it's a very bad move, but if this group here, these two stones on the top, are under some big pressure, there might be some possibility to play this way, like this, maybe here later even on the first line, so this move will be center. Maybe even like this, just playing here, no need to play this move, but possibly just like this. So that it might be possible for White to create there some base. This way, if Black cuts the other, from the other side, it's possible to attack this group. Black might have some troubles as well. So it's not so easy for Black to really use these stones. So in my opinion, White should be satisfied. Just playing like this, and White should be feeling quite well. In the actual game, however, White decided to play the schema. So Black played in the corner, Black takes points, and the more important, White doesn't have two ice base. It's possible for White to play these kind of moves, but here on the top, it's only one eye. So if there is only one eye, White will need to escape with this group. So White will need to escape, and Black happy, because Black has a group to attack. So even though it doesn't look like it's very important, but if there is a group to attack, it's possible to get really many moves around center. So if this group is weak here on the left side, automatically this other group starts to be even weaker, because when White runs away, Black can try to fight like this. White will need to escape all the time. Black will get some stones around, and then suddenly Black has some wall here and this group is dead. So not so easy for White to play. Of course, White doesn't need to play these exchanges, especially this one, but generally there is all the time similar situation. After this move, Black can try to continue this attacking. Black can play, for example, something like this, or if White plays this way, basically same, or playing first here. It's possible to get some wall, for example, here in this area, maybe playing some moves and later playing something like this. So Black is able to get some profit from this attack. In the actual game, black decided to play this move. I don't really understand why. Like, of course, white will not cut here, so there is not big agi that white will cut here in this moment. Later, black will cut anyway, doesn't matter when white will play some other move, black will just cut. So it should be good for black, because white has two separated groups. So in this moment, this move doesn't work. But if white starts to be stronger here around, somehow, then this might be a very painful agi for black. So that if white will be able to play there at some point, then it's already not so good for black. So leaving this agi, in my opinion, it's not so interesting. It would be better just to try to attack this group, or maybe even just like this, maybe even just playing this way. So black starts to be here stronger, and then black, let's say white plays something like this, maybe black can make this kind of exchange, then black doesn't need to add any move. Black is already strong enough with these stones, so it's already possible really to play here and get another wall like this. So white will need to escape, black will get another wall. About this group doesn't need to worry, doesn't need to be afraid, because it will be alive. It will be possible to strengthen in any way because white's group is weak. And later, just adding some move in this spot, somewhere here, a bit later, so black will have here very nice territory. This is some simple way to play. If playing just like this, it starts to be more difficult in my opinion. White played again Keima. In this moment, I would also recommend, if white wants to play on the top, in this top right corner, I would recommend to play this attachment. Why playing like this? Because this kind of Keima, it's basically a slow move. It's not very powerful. Like this, black doesn't need to answer. It's not necessary to play in the corner. It's possible to play tenuki. It's possible to play, for example, this way. White cannot take there much. If white adds a move, we can try to compare it with some other variation. I will show here some other variation. Let's say there is this kind of exchange, and later one player plays here and the other player plays like this. So it doesn't look very nice, right? Playing this kind of move. So if these moves we think that they are okay, then the other exchange, it must be like in this position, very nice for white. In the game there were reversed colors, but generally it's the same. So adding this move in the corner is not that huge. It's not that big. If white plays like this, and now if black plays tenuki, black plays somewhere else, white is already able to play here. And now this exchange is like, okay, this black played here in this area and white played here. This is like, okay, playable. White is here much stronger because of this move. If it was more on the top, there starts to be also some weakness with white stones. Like this, it's much more powerful. Also, in some cases, white might be able, for example, to play this way. If white thinks that the center is more important, maybe even possible to play like this sometimes. So generally, white has several options what to do, but in all these options, white take the corner bigger. And if black answers, then it means this move was sente, so that white can continue making own group stronger. That's why nowadays it's really very rare to see in any pro game this kind of Keima. Basically everyone who tries to play something in this shape is playing just this attachment or maybe Sansa. Really very hard to see this kind of Keima because people want to play faster. So after this move, when black plays the other way, white will automatically start to have a stronger group. If black plays like this, now it's not so interesting for white to play here if we compare this other situation, because like this, now black takes quite a lot. So in this way, white will just protect here at the top. So if black continues playing like this, white can even try to play just like this. White will have a group which is quite safe. And later, this move, it might be still quite painful weakness, that there is this gap between these stones in black's shape. So after this move, in the actual game, black decided to play this corner. I think it's more interesting to play here or attacking this group anyway. But okay, let's continue. Tenuki. Why playing Tenuki? Like, black can play here and attack these groups. Black can play here and attack this group. It's like, I feel like it's very risky to play Tenuki in this case. And black played Tenuki as well. I don't understand what's going on. Like, it's possible to attack two groups here in this area, possible to make really many problems. Even if looking on territory, if black plays like this, white needs to escape with these two stones. If white escapes with these two stones, then black already gets some base, some territory. Later, if black gets here stronger, it's much easier to attack the other stones on the left side. So I think it's like a must be to play here on the top. And here actually, if we look on the bottom, how to play. I guess you know already. No Keima, no need to play Keima. Possible to play this attachment and later maybe some cutting point if black wants to play a bit faster. Like this, of course, it's complicated, it's not easy, but this way it's possible to get not so bad shape in center. So if black wants, it's possible to get maybe a little bit more. It's possible to play a little bit more for fighting, a little bit more aggressively later. So white played Tenuki all the time. These two groups are weak. I would really recommend to start doing something with these groups. After this move, black started to separate. Very good. Maybe it would be possible to separate a little bit stronger. Maybe like this, maybe like this, like this. Maybe it's possible anyway to keep white separated and to try to keep a little bit more pressure. Maybe this one would be the best. Trying to keep more pressure on white's group. Later, if white needs to escape with this group, there is another possibility for black to try to attack this stone, because if black gets here stronger, this stone is quite far from the other stone, so it's already possible to cut somewhere here for black, and white will have this stone basically dead. So in the actual game, black played like this. Here white made some interesting exchange. This exchange, it's quite good for white, because if we think about making base, at some points, like white gets some points, some I. But later, also in some, let's say, number of moves, there is some agi. It might be possible for white to play like this and like this, so that white is able to get here a lot of points on that left side, and black might be left without a base. So this is quite annoying agi, that at some point white might be able to play this way. But if we think, of course, about making life with this group, then it's overplayed to play like this, because black gets just an easier way to attack this group. So this is energy, but also we can use it later. After this, black played here. This way should be better. It's just black doesn't leave white possibility to make two eyes. If black plays like this, white plays like this, white has a base. White will be alive in that area. Of course, white can play many other moves like this, like this, like this. Anyway, white will be alive. But if playing this way, white locally will not be alive. White needs to run away. White needs to escape somehow, trying to do something strange so that white will have two eyes. So it's much more important, in my opinion, to cut in this case. So black played here, and white played like this exchange. White made this group stronger. Okay, black played some strange move to attack white's group. Actually, in the game, it was not so bad for black. Like this, white answered, black connected, and it's still possible to attack. So this way, it looks like this move is quite interesting, what black played. If I was white, I think I would play from the other side. Why? Because if black wants to cut, white is already able to connect here underneath. If black wants to separate, now, like actually how to separate. After this move, actually this move is even center. Of course, it's very bad exchange, but it's possible to use it later. Maybe white is able to escape like this, like this. Basically, white can play somewhere further to be able to escape anyway. So it's easier for white to escape. And if playing from the other side, white is unable to connect this group with this group. So when it's not possible to connect, then there starts to be some problems. In this position, actually white can think about playing a little bit more aggressively as well. Maybe it's possible to play this way. If black connects, white can play here. Now there starts to be some weakness in black's shape, so that if black, for example, would like to kill white's group, white can play something like this and like this. Locally, black doesn't have eyes, black needs to add the move, now black is alive, but here we already see that the other stones are cut, are separated, so white can play basically anything there, even like this, possible to connect to make this group alive. Also possible, of course, to play some other moves like this, like this. So generally, it's easy for white to make life. So if black will need to protect somehow, like this or like this, then white has an easier way to escape. Like possible to play somewhere further. In this case, maybe here. Let's say black makes this exchange and then later black plays like this. How to play? Maybe like this. Possible to get easier way to escape for white. Okay, but in the game white connected. This connection is also not bad. I cannot speak it's very bad. Later, all the time there is this agi. It's still quite big to be able to use this kind of move later. Just in my opinion, in this moment, now it's more important to keep this group more alive than having this kind of endgame move. So then we've got some exchange, and now it's quite important moment. What happened? Black connected and created double empty triangle. Here, an empty triangle like this, an empty triangle like this. This shape, I would recommend not to play here. How to play instead? Like to have good shape. Maybe it's possible to think that black can sacrifice these two stones. Okay, if white will capture these black two stones, white most likely will be alive. But to capture these two stones, white needs to play two moves. So not only one, but two moves. So black can think maybe it will be possible to play two moves. If black plays like this, if white plays here, okay, might be hard to connect because later white will cut. So black can play this way, white will capture. And now if we are looking on the shape, what's going on? These stones here on the top, these four stones, where are base? Where is base from these stones? There is no base. So it's much easier for black to attack this group with these two moves, what black just played. It's possible to play this way. It's also possible to play this way. Basically, it doesn't matter really what black will play. Still, it should be quite good fight for black. So in the actual game, when black decided to connect, white is already able to escape quite easily. And now if black plays this way, now it's white's turn. White has cente. In the previous variation, it was black's cente. White had just stones like this, and now it's black's cente. Black starts attacking. Now, when black connects like this, black plays here, it's white's cente. It's a huge difference. In any fightings, one move difference is really a very big difference. It's not 6.5 point combi, it's worth much more. So really it would be much more interesting not to connect but to play some move, not to make a bad shape for black. After this move, white can play like this. White can also think about playing some other strange moves. Maybe it will be possible to connect, but generally this is okay. Like this, white is able to escape, to make life with this group. So after this, white escapes, black tries to fight, and now I'm wondering a little bit about this move. Is it necessary to connect? Like this, if black connects, like let's say we compare this move with this move. If black connects, there is maybe some agi in cutting. If black plays this way, doesn't matter what white plays, this move is going to be center later. Maybe white can play even in this moment. This will be center. It's not possible to use any move to cut here in this area. When black connects, it is possible. So when black connects, what is white going to play? In the game, white decided to play here. Good move. Like this, it's not possible to cut. Like this, possible to play here. White is connected to everything. And when black has this move in this spot, it doesn't do much. If black had this move in this spot, what is white going to play? Let's say this is center, and how to follow? Like this, like this. If white is going to play the same, now black has one more move in the center. It's possible to attack white's group much easier. For example here, but even if simple extension, still it's much more difficult for white to escape with this group. If white plays like this, we can already think that black has a stronger shape in the center, like this is going to be center, this is going to be center. Black doesn't need to worry about any forcing move like this that maybe black will need to connect. So black's shape is automatically stronger. Of course, black doesn't need to play here, black can play here anytime later. It's possible to play tenuki in this moment, just black will have the center moves later. So black can already start thinking about, for example, playing this way and trying to make many problems in white's shape. And if white tries to make life with this group, what's gonna happen? White makes life, but white makes black also stronger, because white will need to play somewhere there. So when white will play there, black will be stronger, white will end up in gote, of course, because white tries to make their life. And when black has this stronger shape, it will be again automatically easier to attack this other group, because black will be stronger here. So in this moment, I would recommend to play again a little bit more aggressively. In the actual game, now black decided to attack this group. Yeah, white played there to make life. Black made this exchange. I don't know if it's necessary. Is it really necessary to play there? I think it's possible just to play tenuki, just to start doing something with this group, maybe playing like this. Why not playing this kind of exchanges? Because when black makes this exchange, there starts to be less agi in the outside. Also, maybe there might be some strange call like this, or even if white plays this way, there are more weaknesses in black's shape. If black doesn't make this exchange, maybe black will be able to play here, and at some point maybe it will be possible to try to cut, at least maybe to force white to play this exchange. So now, okay, it's not possible to cut here, but black again has some other forcing moves in center. So anyway, it would be more interesting to not to make this exchange and have some other possibilities later. Black decided to play something there to try to kill white's group. It's reducing the base and later playing vital point. It's a very good way to try to kill. First reduce the base, later play inside some vital points so that there will be only one eye inside. However, in this case, white still has some possibilities to make some eyes in the center. White will have some forcing moves in center to be able to make life here. Like for example, a bit later white played this move, and it's possible to create there another eye. So in my opinion, it will be very hard to really kill white's group, but if already trying to kill, I think it would be more interesting anyway to play something in this area. Doesn't really matter what move, but to focus more on this area first than playing there on the first lines. Like this, yes, white, here if we look on later, white played here, so white made this eye, only one eye, but white got the second eye here, a bit lower. Now, if we are looking on these moves, what actually happened? White made these exchanges. In my opinion, this move, it looks very ugly because white pushes black, so black is able to play here first in the center. If it's possible, I would really recommend to choose some other move, if it's possible to really make life. White can think, okay, this is going to be center, possible to play. If black wants to kill, black will play here. Later, maybe white can play like this. I think white anyway has their two eyes, so it's just white doesn't need to make this kind of exchange to really push black much more in the center. Also, when white played here this move, black doesn't need to extend. Black can play even more powerful move like this. White still needs to connect. Black can play like this. Black blocks white. So now if we are looking on this exchange, white added a move here and black added a move here. So black has a stronger group. Black has a stronger center. I think it's quite painful for white. Also, black made this exchange first. This exchange, this stone for this stone, is not very important. Is there this exchange or there is no this exchange? It's not very important. Just there is, I would recommend to start thinking during playing in a little bit different way. Like, if you don't need to play some exchange, don't play it. Why? There might be a few reasons. One of them is cost threats. This exchange, if black plays like this exchange, it might be a cost threat later. So already one reason. Second reason, black takes away own liberty. Black can play this exchange anytime, but black can wait with it. So next thing, black takes away this liberty. Black has a liberty with this group. Now it doesn't really matter because anyway black plans to play outside, but if there would be some liberty race, then it's already quite painful. Also, it might be possible even to take away one more liberty from white while playing first inside and later playing like this. Like this, white doesn't have a liberty here. So there are a few ways to be able to use it. Even though it's not very important, still, if it's not necessary to make some exchange, better not to play it. And also white cannot play anywhere outside because like this, white just dies with all this group. So anyway, white will play the same move. So let's move to the game. It was like this. Here white started to play some exchanges to make life with this group. Like this, white survived. I'm wondering about this connection. Maybe it's possible to cut. Like maybe it will be a little bit more difficult for white to create their eyes. If cutting here in this spot, black is able to connect anyway. It doesn't really matter what white does here below, because if black kills all this group on the top, black is just happy. So yeah, this was the game, and black started to play some attack on this group. Black decided to play here. How do we attack groups? I think this is actually the most important moment of this game. One option is to block some side and maybe attack so that opponent will connect with some other stones, and later we can use this wall. For example, it's if we play like this. Later we can play, for example, like this, or here some keima, white needs to play here. Black gets some kind of a wall. This is one way of attacking. Is this wall useful now? In my opinion, not useful at all. Like it's possible just to play somewhere inside, so white will not have points here on the bottom. But black cannot fight. Black cannot attack any group with this wall. So it's not so useful in my opinion. Other option, normally it's like if we think that we have a quite safe group. Is black's group safe? In my opinion, it's safe because at any time black can play here. Black has two eyes already here in this area. Not possible to play anything there. Black has two eyes. It's possible to make very big eye. So if we cannot play from this side, if we cannot anyway block like from outside so that white cannot escape with this group, then usually it's good to think about playing as far as possible some attachment, some other moves, so that it will be possible to get some wall and later play this kind of move so that white will be unable to escape. For example, we were thinking it's possible for black to play here so that black will get some wall and white connects with the other group. But if we play like this, white escapes. So like this doesn't really work to attack well. But we can try to play, for example, something like this. Strange, but what's gonna happen? If white answers, black can make some other exchange and later play like this. What has changed? Now it's much more difficult for white to connect, and accidentally white is cut. White has a huge problem with this own group. Also, maybe at this time white will play tenuki, but if white plays tenuki, if we compare this move or this move, now when black has a move in this spot, black can already think about some playing more aggressively and cutting some other stone. In this case, black cuts this stone. There is also some other possibility. Instead of playing this kind of attachments, it's possible to play just inside white's base. It's possible to play, for example, even like this. When black plays here, in normal conditions, maybe white would like to think about some cutting. Maybe it would be possible to attack these stones on the bottom. It's possible to do there some fight. But now, if we see this group is under all the time some pressure, it's possible that if black blocks this group, then this group is simply dead and black gets there a lot of points. Then it's not easy for white to really keep black separated, because black will just create there any fight and black will kill simply white's group. So it's necessary to play this way. And black, what can black do? Black can play even like this. White will need to just let black connect here underneath. Black takes points. These two stones are already alive. And white still has a problem. White still needs to play there some move to try to fix the shape. But now white is left without any points. So in this moment, yeah, this fight, this attacking was, yeah, in my opinion, it could be done better. And now black protected here the shape. Okay, so white connects. I don't understand the meaning. Why black played this way? And I also don't understand why didn't answer. Like this group is all the time under some pressure. White played Tenuki, but black can still fight. Black can play it like this. Black can try to attack white's group. It's pretty big group, and I think it's really possible to make many problems for white in this case. So for both players in the next, I don't know, 50 moves, it would be anyway quite big to play here any move around just to make this group alive or make this group, if not dead, then at least very weak, but maybe even possible to really kill this group. So it's very important for both players to play in this area to do something with this group. White decided to take their points, black tried to play some invasion, so at the end black survived. In this case, I think it's not necessary for white to play ko. Maybe it's possible to play like this. I think white is ahead if we think about points. Also, in this way, what black will do? Black will need to play some other move, like to escape. Here, all the time, black has some weaknesses. White can play maybe Tenuki. Of course, I would recommend to play here. But if white doesn't want to play there, it's maybe possible also to play like this so that black doesn't have two eyes with this Keima. So black will need to escape. White gets here some points with this move, and black needs to play some dame, because these kind of moves outside are worth nothing, basically. So white can get here some extra points. Maybe also if black escapes, if white plays somewhere here, white will not need to spend a move to make this group alive. But of course, most important is to play here anywhere with this top all the time. Here, this capturing the score, I think, is small. I think it's quite important to keep everything connected and trying to look for some cross threads. White has some cross threads in this area, for example. I think it's possible just to play some other cross threads, but it's good to keep everything connected. Like this, black separates here white stones, and it's quite likely that black will be really alive. Here we've got some exchange, and now this move. Again, double empty triangle. Sorry, no, one side, single empty triangle, like this. But it's still an empty triangle, not good shape. Instead of this move, why did black play here? In my opinion, black was afraid that if black plays like this, maybe at some point white can play here this move to cut here these three stones and connect here underneath. But it's not interesting at all for white, because now this group is just dead. So white, okay, can make these kind of exchanges. Actually, black doesn't even need to play here. Black can just play here to secure everything. Like this group is dead, it's I win the game. So I think it's like no need to be afraid at all about these kind of cuts. Also, if white cuts here first and later cuts like this, still it's possible to play the other way. Now this exchange on the second line, it's so horrible for white that still black should feel quite well. Also, white has many cutting points on outside, so black will be alive for sure. Yeah, so black all the time kept this pushing. I think not necessarily. All the time I would recommend to do something with this group on the top. Here black made this exchange. But again, I don't understand white's move. Why not connecting? Like this, white leaves some agi in own shape. Maybe if cutting like this, it doesn't work well for black. Like this, white anyway gets the corner. But it might be possible at some point to play like this. And now it's already more difficult to continue for white. If cutting like this, if connecting here, black can cut here. If connecting here, black can cut here. Maybe there are some agi, but white all the time gets bad shape. So it's possible to use it. Maybe if not playing here immediately, maybe if playing here like this, getting some bonus, some help, and later it's really possible to maybe play these kind of moves. But I think it's possible to play even immediately. Here black made life, and now like in this case I think white should feel quite well. I think white is winning. It's possible to play these kind of moves. It's really huge. Now black's shape is also not really left with eyes, right? Where are black's eyes? Maybe it's possible to make one in the corner, but where is the other eye? So black will have some problem. Automatically, if black has problem with this group, white's group is much safer. So like this, white gets here points, black doesn't have any points. White's group starts to be much safer, black needs to make life. Maybe even white will finish in center, black will play something here, white will connect, and black will need to add another move. So white should feel very well. And now the sequence is a kind of maybe losing sequence. In the actual game, white tried to play something there. Black connected, but black, like, if white played like this on the first line, what can white do? I think white really wants to kill black very much. Black can anyway play even like this or like this. Still black is alive. Black could also connect. Okay, now white is able to connect here on the first line, but how many points it is? Not many. Also black, black I think doesn't need to play even there, or if playing it's possible to play like this, taking quite many points. Like this, possible to kill this group. It's quite hard for white to continue. Like generally these two stones are dead. So like this is possible to get there many points. Black played here on the second line. Okay, less points, but still black keeps everything connected. White played here. I don't understand. It's still possible to cut even like this in this case. Still white is dead, even if white makes this exchange, still it doesn't help much. Still generally white is left without liberties. So this move is an overplay. And now black connected underneath. Okay, all the time it's possible to cut. This exchange I don't understand, but center. And now white played here. How many points are worth these three stones? Not many. It's just a few points. 6, maybe a little bit more. But here we've got all this group under a huge pressure. So that I think it would be still much more interesting for white to play something there on the top. We've got also this move. It's also much more interesting even more interesting than play here in this moment. It would be more interesting to play here, so that black will be left without a base, and like this white can even attack black group. But after this move, black has even a follow-up. Black played inside. All the time tenuki, black captured. White captured, black played here. All the time tenuki, but white connected. Bad shape. So black played even center, and white connected again. Bad shape. So white's group suddenly started to be without really many liberties. Black keeps center. Black is able to cut anywhere actually. White has two weak groups. Black can do anything already in this game. So suddenly from a good shape, it started to be very bad position for white. And now black connected here, but why not playing like this? Okay, white can capture the stone, but it doesn't matter, it's just a few points. Here we are thinking about all these groups dying in the center, it's like worth much more. Like this connection, white can just play like this. So white gets some extra power in the center, which is much more important than just a few points, or even if it makes this group alive, it's not so important. Here we are thinking about all the centers, so that white is unable to connect. In my opinion, it would be much more important to play anything here in the center in this case. Here we've got a few more moves. So generally white died. White played tenuki. Like it's still possible to use there some aji, maybe like this, maybe like this. Generally it's maybe possible still to make this group maybe somehow alive. But after tenuki, just playing there. Now this group is dead, game over. Black won. Black is winning a lot. Of course, before playing there is good to count, but black is winning a lot. So even if white kills here these stones and white gets here all this territory, still is not enough. This group is just game over. Black wins. So I would really recommend in this position to count, okay, we are on the safe side or no. If we're on the safe side, black is winning, just playing here, game over. And like this, white played there a few moves. It didn't change much. And later white played some tenuki, but white all the time can try to do there something. All the time can try to play these kind of moves. Maybe it will be possible to survive with this group, maybe playing here first. And like this, yeah, up to this point, generally I think this group is not alive. Or at least or sorry, it will be still alive, but at least without many points. When black connects, when black decides to play here, now we've got it quite simple. Black connected, white can play like this, like this, like this, like this, game over, white won. Black's group is dead. And it's very, very, very easy to win or lose this game already. So in this position, I think black needs to connect. Now there are not no weaknesses. After this, black can connect, white cannot do there much. So in this position, I think black must connect. This is the only way of playing, but white is already able to escape. So white will be alive with this group. So yeah, black needs to connect. But all the time before just playing there, just playing, make sure this group is dead. We win this game. Black wins this game. And like this, white is happy. Sorry, like this. White is happy because white makes life. In the actual game, white decided to play here. So black connected. So again, it starts to be difficult for white. I think here it's possible to kill this group like this. Like here there is some agi, it might be difficult maybe to see like this. It's possible to make here an eye in the corner. Black has also one eye. So now if black takes the other white from white, white can try to cut. And now black has some problem. So this move is some center. If white plays here, black can play like this. Now white doesn't have their two eyes. But this might be difficult to see. If black blocked, white can play like this. If black plays something inside to make sure that white doesn't have their two eyes, white can play here all the time. White captures these two stones. Black will need to play back and later white cuts. So yeah, up to this point, when white plays here, white can still make life. If black plays here, white can play like this. White has one eye, second eye here. Like this, there is one eye in this spot. So after this move, now white died. Like this, white died. So it's game over. Yeah, here there was a few more moves in the end game, but generally that's it. Okay, so black won the game. Thank you for attention. I hope you liked it. If you are interested in any online Go lessons, in online Go school, in Go equipment, don't hesitate to write polgote.com in your browser. Also, don't forget to subscribe polgote.com YouTube channel. Thank you.